Join the conversation by calling in at 476-1045.
Head coach of the Albany Devils is Rick Kowalsky, Killer Kowalsky, and he joins us here on Big Board Sports on my new home, Coach, 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. Good morning.
Morning, Roger. How are you?
I'm good, my man. Good to talk to you, as always. Ready to go. New season. And, you know, last year was just incredible, Coach. The best in the history of the franchise, and it was just a phenomenal team and season. What is the climate like? I know you lost a bunch of players, right? 7 or 8 of your top players, top scorers anyway, are gone out of the organization. What's this team look like as you get ready to roll here tomorrow night?
Well, I think, obviously we can take a lot of positives out of what happened last year, but, you're correct, and you look at the lineup and say that we lost, 8 of our top scorers, and there was a lot of turnover. There usually is in the American League, but this is probably maybe an exception. But I think management has done a good job of bringing in new players and new veteran guys, and also we have some good young quality prospects that are going to come in and probably play a big role for us, much like they did last year. So I think it's important that and I told the guys today that we get out, and I think it's good that we're getting on the road here and are able to play some games for real. It's been a long training camp. It's been a good training camp. And so this team can establish their own identity and not have to hear about last year anymore. And I think that's important. I feel confident with the group. If you did compare, I do think we have depth in all positions, and we're just really looking forward to getting the season started.
Yeah, because last year, Coach, when I talked to you, you just kind of got the feeling you knew that this had real potential to have the season that you did, and you went on to do exactly what you thought you were going to be able to do. Do you have any of those thoughts right now about this group that you are still sitting on what could be another really good season for you?
Yeah, I do feel confident. Again, you really won't know until you get a bit of a measuring stick on what your team's best game is and what the identity ends up looking like overall. We know how we want to play, but how these guys fit in, so far so good. Everything's looked good, but I think it's important that we get some games under our belt and measure ourselves against the rest of the league as well, especially your division opponents. So that sometimes takes the first quarter, 15, 20 games, and you get to know your team, and they get to know each other better, and we get to know the league better before you really have an idea of where you are going to be. But with that being said, I think what we went through last year can certainly carry over into this year, and a lot of those young guys, much like we have younger guys this year, had big years for us, and now they're second-year pros, and they can draw from that experience. So as much as we lost a core group that had been here a while and some good veterans, the guys that are here, and for a lot of them, it's their first experience in pro hockey, was certainly a positive one that they can build off of and carry into this year.
Talking to Rick Kowalsky, Devils on the road tomorrow night, and then the home opener for Saturday, 5 o'clock in St. John's, and off and running we go with the AHL season. Coach, how about throw out some names here of guys, at least veteran guys that you know you're going to rely on here early in the season to get off to a good start?
Well, the glue for us starts with our captain, with Rod Pelly. He's back. He's one of the returning veterans, and he's kind of he's been in charge of kind of getting these guys together and starting to build chemistry in that room, and really starts with him with the leadership. But Carter Camper's come in here. He's a veteran guy that's been around the league, played in Hershey, played in Providence, Springfield a little bit as well. Had a real good playoff run with the Hershey Bears last year, all the way to the Calder Cup Finals. So he's an offensive guy that'll be certainly in our top 6 forwards. Nick Lappin's back, who had a good NHL camp and a chance to make the NHL team. He was a late addition last year that came in and just got better every day and continued to score for us. We're going to rely heavily on him. Joel Quinville's a rookie. first-round pick from a couple years ago out of the Western Hockey League. He's going to be a guy that we're going to rely on to score right away, just because of his track record and what we've seen. Joe Blandisi's back. He had a real good start for us last year and was rewarded with 40 games. And then the defensemen, we've got a few new names in McWilliams, Stollery, and Gormley, all guys that fit into that veteran role of experience. All of them have some NHL games, but also have played 4+ seasons in the American League. So those are guys that have come in that veteran role situation, mixed in with some good young prospects.
And then they get to goaltending, and we ran an interview last night in our late sportscast on WNYT. Scott Wedgwood is going to be in between the pipes. I know he would rather be in New Jersey, right? But he's here and be your top guy. But it sounds like you got 3 goaltenders that are all pretty good, starting with your number 1.
That's the thing. That's what I mean, Roger. Like, we feel comfortable with the depth in all positions. Obviously, last year Wedgwood, we would have rotated 2 goalies steady through the beginning of the year, and Wedgwood got hurt, and then Jan Denis came in and did what he did, and then obviously Scott emerged late in the season and was a prospect for us and played big minutes, but he was hurt quite a bit. I think he only had to play in 24 games last year and then had the playoff run. So the key for him is as much as he had a good camp and good showing when he did get NHL games last year, he's got to get through a season here health-wise and be consistent. And then, right behind him, Mackenzie Blackwood's a rookie, had a very good OHL career. He's a second-round draft pick and has looked good. And then Ken Appleby, who we had last year as our third guy, certainly has improved and developed. And to be honest with you, I could start all 3 of them I'd have no qualms about starting either one of them for either one of these games. So it's certainly a good problem to have. And the beginning of the year like this, you try to see where these guys emerge, and it's healthy competition in at forward, at D, and in goaltending, which is certainly a good problem to have.
No doubt, Coach. Well, listen, I wish you the best of luck. We'll do this on a regular basis throughout the year. Get you on and get a little update for our AHL fans and the Albany Devil fans in the Capital Region. And I hope you have a great season, and we'll talk to you this time next week.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks, Roger.
Thank you, Coach. Rick Kowalsky and the Devils ready to roll.